What is up, guys? This is my first time here on YouTube. I normally am watching YouTube. I'm not really creating YouTube, but I wanted to come up on this and basically give you a recap of my visit to see Make Kevin's roadshow for HouseHack. I was one of the attendees at his San Jose stop, and I kind of want to give everybody a little bit of a warning. I normally don't make some of these videos, but I've been kind of investing and been in this space for about 10 years now. I might not look like it, but I've been in this, and I've kind of have gone through a lot of grifts, and this is because I come from the cryptocurrency space. So I've seen scams galore since 2017. BitConnect, ICOs, saw FTX. I saw what happened with Celsius. I was a Celsius bankruptcy creditor, so I've been part of the bankruptcy processes. And so I kind of feel like I've developed a lot of scar tissue, and I can now see a lot more grift that's taking place. And so when I kind of heard that me, Kevin, was working on this new startup, he's a YouTuber, first of all, and immediately kind of alarm bells started to kind of ring off. And but whatever, me, Kevin, he provides good insights. He does his morning market streams, and he's been in construction. He's been in real estate, and by that it means he's a real estate agent, and he's bought properties, and so he's done his real estate gig. But yeah, so he's working on this new initiative called HouseHack. For those of you that don't know, you guys can probably go and Google it and find out more about it. But he raised a bunch of money from investors about a year ago and a year and a half ago, accredited investors as well as unaccredited investors. And one thing that I have found interesting is that he's using his YouTube channel and his subscribers to raise money, which to me seems like a really big SEC violation. I don't think it's right that a YouTuber can now use their influence to raise money and try to start a company. To me, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. And there should be SEC protections in place to protect people from that. And so that's kind of the first thing. Is, to me, it's super strange that he's using YouTubers, or he's using viewers, to raise money. And I asked that question at the roadshow to one of his people that are working there while Kevin was talking to other folks. I asked him, like, why are you guys not going to a BlackRock or like a Vanguard or Andreessen Howard's to raise money? Like, why are you using your YouTubers? And the guy's response was, well, Kevin doesn't want to lose voting control. To me, that was an alarm bell ringing. So it looks like Kevin wants to keep control of this entire company. And so that tells me that it's not going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard for him to scale. It sounds like Kevin wants control of everything. And when the vibe I kind of got at that show is that everybody is literally following Kevin's command. And like, literally, I saw his two buddies, Mikey and McKay, basically all dressed like Kevin, looking like Kevin, and having their cameras zombied on, recording at all times. Like, if they did anything wrong, Kevin was going to critique them. So it almost looked like, it gives me exact vibes of Celsius Network. There's a couple like exact one-for-one scenarios of people that used to work at Celsius Network, like Zach Wildes, who would do anything that Alex Mashinsky would do just because they had a job, and that Kevin was his employer, so you had to basically follow all command. So yeah, I kind of saw that, and so yeah, I asked him like about why are you using YouTubers, and he said like Kevin doesn't want to give up control, and they want to use this as free marketing. So that to me was a really big red flag. Like, to me, if you are trying to make a company, why would you not be going and building a pitch deck, and then going and building an MVP product, and then going to like a large company and actually trying to raise money there? Because then you might have one shareholder or two shareholders that you can work with and have capital, versus getting tons of these viewers that don't really know any better. And these are the viewers that are watching me, Kevin, to get financial information. They're not actually financial experts. They don't actually know what they're doing. And so that was the first thing. The second thing is, I noticed that Kevin was improvising a lot on the fly of what this company was. So originally he kept talking about mini funds, and like, HouseHack is this company that's going to buy real estate and flip it and sell it to these mini funds. And a lot of people, even after he did his like 10-minute spiel, a lot of people had no idea what he was talking about. And so I asked this question to Kevin, which was, okay, so what I'm understanding is like you guys are trying to be Robinhood, and just like how Robinhood lets you do commission-free trading and you can buy different stocks, you guys want to create these mini funds where people are going to be able to swipe up and buy these different mini funds. And I noticed that immediately Kevin kind of took that and then just started making that his pitch. And that's when he kind of just started changing his entire pitch of HouseHack and saying, yeah, we're going to become the Robinhood of real estate. So that's another red flag for me, is that he doesn't really quite understand what he's doing. And the same thing happened with a couple other people where they were like, oh, so it looks like you have this new Wedge Finder AI thing and you've got this property management software you're working on. Are you going to be licensing this or something? Like, is there a software play here? Because software, to be honest, is a lot sexier as a company, and that to me is a true growth company, and that's where you can get like the 8, 10, 15 multiples. So yeah, immediately when people started saying that, Kevin kind of started saying, yeah, of course we can take our software and license it and potentially make revenue out of that. And maybe we're not going to do that right now because that might hurt us if our competitors are using this software. So to me, it sounded like he was just kind of improvising that on the fly and trying to raise some money. And a couple other people had said stuff like, why don't you just focus on building a brokerage that could, slice real estate and let people buy commission free. And he kind of was like, yeah, that's what we're going to do, but better. And it's going to have no fees because I'm a real estate agent. And so I'm going to not carry any fees in these mini funds. And so again, when I hear stuff like that, that is a recipe for grifting and a disaster. Same thing happened with BitConnect, and same thing happened with Celsius Network. Anytime that a founder is leading with, we're just going to do things with no fees, that means that you are the fee. That means that you are the risk, that your money is the risk, and that you are the product. Fees are a good thing, okay? If a company is paying fees, or if you're paying fees, that means that the company has actual fortress of cash and actually has a viable cash flow business, right? Like look at Chase Bank. Chase Bank takes tons of fees, but Chase is also very safe, okay? Versus something like a Silicon Valley Bank where they were offering like no interest loans. Like, yeah, no fees, just take a loan from us. Look what happened to Silicon Valley Bank. Look what happened to Celsius Network, right? And so again, that's the second red flag that I saw. And then, I think the third red flag that I saw at that event was, like I talked about how all of his employees all looked like yes men. Literally, they all were dressed like Meet Kevin. They literally look like Meet Kevin Oompa Loompas, like walking around, like following his every command and not even diverging from it. And so what that tells me is that Meet Kevin is kind of like the puppet master, and he's got all these people working for him. And, what that means is it's going to be a very toxic workplace. And it's like these people, they cannot say anything different to Kevin. And I can see Kevin from his videos that he has a really big ego issue. And it's got to be Kevin's way or no way. This is like from what I can see from like just his verbal and nonverbal way of doing things. And I'm sure probably if there's an employee watching this, I'm sure they can probably understand. It's either Kevin's way or no way. And you need to basically do whatever Kevin's doing. And so just like the way that they were walking around, holding the camera, trying to record everything, and Kevin was kind of critiquing things that they were doing, just seemed to me, give me really, really weird vibes. That like, okay, this is not, this looks to me like kind of like a family business. Like this is not a real startup. And then like the last thing I think I'll talk about is like, there were a couple investors there that were asking questions that were accredited. And you could kind of tell that they were not really like the sophisticated accredited investor that, would make a knowledgeable investment. It looked like these were sort of, boomers that fell across Kevin's videos and have now innocently invested and now are like, shit, what the hell am I doing in this business? And it was kind of hilarious that like one of the accredited investors asked Kevin, like, what exactly does this business do? And then another person who was an accredited investor had no idea what HouseHack was doing still. She asked this question to Kevin, which was like, when am I going to get my money back? Like, when are you guys going to IPO? And Kevin was like, probably 2028, lady. Like, say goodbye to your money. Like, say goodbye if you're ever going to see that money again. And so, yeah, like, this is just my warning, I would say, based on my visit to this HouseHack Roadshow, to be extremely careful. I would say do not risk more than 1% of your assets in HouseHack if you're going to invest. Okay, so that means that if you have $100,000 in your name, you should be putting $1,000 into HouseHack. That's it. Okay, you should not be prepared to lose more than 1% of your net worth investing in this company. If I had to put a prediction of how likely this company is to fail, I would probably put it at like a 99.8%, maybe even 99.998%, just because of everything that I saw today. Yeah, I think that's just my observation, and that's just from my experience, being in bankruptcies before, seeing how founders grift and lure investors and customers into using their products. And I have seen extremely successful founders and CEOs and the way they raise money and the way that they create products. And then I'm seeing the way that Kevin is doing this, and it's a complete shit show. And so I had to go in person to one of these HouseHack Roadshows to kind of figure it all out. So yeah, that's just my take, and feel free to leave in the comments what you guys think. And this is not even to go into, stuff about how Kevin has been kind of lying to his followers and, viewers about him being bearish on Tesla, then being bullish on Tesla. But I honestly think that this is honestly a little bit ridiculous. And the fact that we live in this digital age now where YouTubers can have this much influence now and really screw people's lives up is going to probably be the next recession. Like I think actually like Kevin is probably going to create the next crash or recession when you have all these influencers who are super unexperienced, who are going to spew all this information and, really screw over a lot of people. So yeah, that's just like my warning message. If you guys like this content, please like it. Please leave a comment. This is like super raw. You can tell I'm not even like ready, but I just kind of wanted to say this message out there. And yeah, thanks guys. Take care.